So I just unboxed the new M5 iPad Pro, and I gotta say, so far I am not disappointed. So this is the new 11-inch silver 1TB with nano texture M5 iPad Pro. And there's so many great things to say about it. So obviously it is a lot faster. That new M5 chip is amazing, and there's a lot of benchmark videos out there already to show you how fast it is. You've got a few really good hardware upgrades in this iPad that can even convince somebody to upgrade from the M4. And the 11-inch is, in my opinion, actually an upgrade from the 13-inch, which I have been using for the last 18 months as my only computer. This size is not trying to be a MacBook, it's giving me the tablet experience that I'm actually looking for. Hey everyone, Tech Dad here, and if you're looking to upgrade your iPad this year, man, this is the iPad for you. This iPad is absolutely flawless. It has the best display, it has the slimmest, lightest design, it's got the most powerful chip you can get in an iPad, the best speakers, hardware bumps, you name it, this iPad has it. There are absolutely no compromises. And like I said, even if you have the M4 iPad Pro, there might be some tempting reasons why you should upgrade to this one. So in this video, I want to discuss the benefits of the M5 iPad Pro and why this is a killer upgrade for just about anybody who owns an iPad. But then I need you to stick around for the end of the video because we have to have this discussion about the 11-inch and why I think it really is a better choice from the 13-inch iPad, because after using that 13-inch M4 iPad Pro as my main computer for almost 18 months, I really have a lot to say about it, and I've changed my perspective on how a tablet should really be used in general. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about the hardware boosts, first of all, that you're getting in this new M5 iPad Pro. So first of all, obviously you get that new M5 chip, and there's been a lot of benchmark videos out there, and so I don't want to go over all that because everybody's going over that, but it's about 20% faster than the M4, which means if you're exporting video, it goes about 20% faster, which is a pretty good deal. Now, also, you should be able to game a heck of a lot better on this, and I tried downloading some games on this so far, and actually they're not running correctly, so I'm not sure if the apps need to update for the new M5 architecture. So Destiny Rising still looks good, but it's a little grainy, and I can't crank the graphics all the way up. It says it's not available for this device, so that's kind of weird, but I'm betting they'll fix that soon because this baby should be able to pump out the graphics no problem. My M4 iPad Pro could already do it really well, but even it had some lockouts on graphics. Now, you're getting a RAM boost if you got the base version. So the base version went from 8 gigs to 12. This one has 16 gigs of RAM because it's the 1TB version. But what is a really good upgrade is the new Wi-Fi 7. And so Wi-Fi 7 is going to be a heck of a lot faster if you have that available. You're just going to get better downloads, uploads. If you do online gaming, it's going to be a lot smoother. But one of the most exciting upgrades that I like about this iPad is that it supports secondary displays better than the M4. So now it will display 6K at 60 Hz refresh rate or 4K at 120 Hz refresh rate. And so I currently use an Apple Studio display which maxes out at 60 Hz, but I'm betting you they're going to come out with a new Apple Studio display soon, and that baby will be at 120 Hz, and this iPad will support it, which will be awesome for gaming on. I can't wait to try that. So the hardware boosts are already one great reason to upgrade, and they're going to be a big jump over the M1 and M2, and even a decent jump over the M4. But if you didn't own an M4 and you're on one of those older models, you've got to upgrade for the form factor. So this iPad is ridiculously slim, very light, very portable, and that's why I absolutely love it. It's just crazy great to hold in hand. And because it's so thin and light, the accessories that go with it are also super thin and light. So the Magic Keyboard is the same as last year. That has not changed, and the quality of this keyboard is absolutely amazing. So it does have the aluminum finish, and when you fold it down, it's actually ridiculously thin and portable. Now, I also picked up the Apple Smart Folio, and I got it in the denim color, so that is really sharp. And this case was important to me because I want to use my iPad without the keyboard. I've started doing that quite a bit, and I think you're missing out if you never use your tablet off of that keyboard. Now, something you'll notice is that there is no protection with the Smart Keyboard or this Smart Folio, so the edges are actually quite exposed, and a lot of people don't like that. Well, you can actually get some really slim accessories to give protection on the edges as well. And one of those accessories is this Moft connected case, and Moft is today's sponsor, and they provided this connected case for me to demo, and people love this kind of case. So first of all, this case is ridiculously thin and light. It's 0.01 inches thick, so it adds almost no bulk at all to the iPad, which is the point. So the purpose of this case is to actually protect the back and sides of the iPad when it's in the Smart Keyboard or Smart Folio. So you can pop the case on and then you can attach it to your Smart Keyboard and everything is compatible, and now you have protection on the edges of your iPad. And this is really great. So I'm a teacher in the evening and I will attach my iPad to the keyboard, but often I want to take the keyboard off, walk around the classroom, and I want that extra protection around the iPad. Well, now I've got it and I can easily just snap it back on to the keyboard when I need that. I love it. It also comes with the pencil protection, so when you put your Apple Pencil Pro into this protector, you got some coverage so the thing doesn't get knocked off easily, which actually happens all the time. Now, Moft also makes its own dynamic folio for the iPad Pro, and this folio offers more options than just the Apple Smart Folio. And the folio is also compatible with their connected case. So one of the positions you can put this folio in is the theater mode, and that's great for just setting the iPad up so you can watch a show or a YouTube video. There is portrait mode as well, where you can set the iPad up so it's in portrait view. This is great for looking at documents or flipping through a book. Moft is a great brand. I love their stuff. If you want to know more about these products, I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you're interested in getting them, I have a code for 10% off, which I'll also leave in the description to this video. All right, so let's talk about why I chose the 11-inch iPad over the 13-inch iPad, which is a really big deal because I use my iPad as my main computer for everything. Like I said, I have for 18 months. When the M4 iPad Pro came out, that's when I started doing that. And that's a big deal because I'm a project manager for my day job, I'm a teacher at nighttime, and I'm a content creator, so I need a really powerful computing device to do all the things. And so as I've used my 13-inch iPad Pro over here for the last 18 months, I've noticed that we're trying to force this tablet to be a Mac, and it just isn't. It's not designed like a Mac. It doesn't have an operating system like a Mac. It's designed to be a tablet. It's designed to be a touch-first device and hold in hand first and foremost. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't use a keyboard, and I love the keyboard functionality. I love connecting to a secondary display. iPadOS 26 has taken us leaps and bounds for productivity and making this tablet act more like a traditional computer, so it definitely can do it. But I've just noticed that the form factor is great to work on in hand, and I actually can get stuff done faster in apps like Excel or PowerPoint or Final Cut Pro when I'm holding the iPad and I'm using the touch controls or I'm using Apple Pencil. It's just better than a keyboard and trackpad. Those devices were made for traditional computers first. And you might say, well, how do you enter text? Well, there's so many ways to enter text now that it's not as big of an issue as it used to be years ago. We have dictation, we have ChatGPT to create text. It's just not as big of a deal if you're missing a physical keyboard like it used to be years ago. And that 13-inch iPad Pro is just tough to wield in hand. It's just a little bit too big for it. I have to stretch my hands really far when I'm trying to type on it, or especially when I'm gaming on it. It's also heavy, so if I use my iPad for an hour or two at a time and I'm editing video, it starts to get really heavy. And so I just wanted something with a smaller, lighter form factor and that's easier to manage in hand. That 13-inch is also really big when I'm walking around the classroom. Like I said, I detach my iPad from the keyboard a lot, and when I'm walking around with it, it's just pretty big. It's kind of big to write on and hold at the same time, and I'm really excited to try out this 11-inch model to get that better form factor and feel and portability. Now, if you're going with the 13-inch, you're not making a mistake, and I would actually recommend it if you're going to keep your iPad docked into that keyboard all the time. Then you have a really good laptop-like experience. So it really just depends on how you use your iPad or how you plan to use your iPad every day, but I really would recommend that you try to use your iPad in hand a lot more, especially if you're trying to do productivity work. You'll find that the apps work better with touch controls. It's very clear that the developers, even like Microsoft, made their apps for touch first on the iPad, and so using that keyboard and trackpad can just be a little wonky sometimes. My recommendation is the 11-inch. It's also $300 cheaper, so that's a good selling point as well. But I'm going to make tons of content about this iPad. That's what this channel is all about. So if you're new here, welcome. This is all about using the iPad in your professional life. So look for more content soon. I'm going to have a lot of it. That's all I got for you. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.